I'm going to show you how to introduce dogs to baby goats. Now in this video I'm working with little 6-week-old goats, but this applies to pretty much any prey animal. Dogs obviously are predators, and little defenseless animals like this sometimes will set off the dog's natural instincts. So it's crucial you introduce them properly. I'm going to break this down into 5 steps for you. The steps are all pretty simple, and I think you're going to see they make a lot of sense. You can modify them based upon your dog. If you have a really easy dog that's social, that loves new animals, this might only take you a half hour. And if you have a dog who's a tougher breed and maybe has killed small animals in the past, this could take you 3 or 4 weeks. It's not a big deal. Don't rush it. Take the time to do it right. The first step is to walk together. And when you're walking the dog, you need to make sure they're under control. So if they're, wild and jumping, that's a problem. This does 2 things for you. One is it calms the dog down. A lot of dogs attack when they're excited. You calm them down, the intro is going to go better. This also makes it easier for the prey animal. So this baby goat, hey bud, hey, what would tell him that this dog is friendly? Of course, instincts would tell him the dog's not going to be friendly. So being able to walk for a while and be up high makes it so much easier for him, and that makes him way less likely to run from the dog when you put him down later. Work on this for as long as it takes. There's no rush. You have to get to a point to where your dog is chill. If you need 2 handlers, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. If you're worried your dog's gonna all of a sudden leap up and go after the animal, obviously use 2 people until you no longer need it. And if this takes you 2 weeks, that's okay. You wanna make sure you're doing it right. The next step is to practice heeling your dog along the fence line with the babies loose on the other side. The idea here is that when they're moving, when they're making noise, that's obviously a lot harder for the dog. When I have the dog in some sort of heel command, and it can be a focused heel, it can be, a more general relaxed heel, but when you have them in some sort of command, you're asking them to be chill and not pull. For a lot of dogs, it's gonna be tough. Sunny, heel. Now, I don't need a robo dog. I don't care if she looks a little. Sunny, heel. So I don't use a competition heel. I don't want her looking up at me the whole time. But what I do want, Sunny, heel, is that she's able to walk with me. And a little bit of smelling is fine. Sunny, heel. We're gonna do more smelling in a few minutes, but when you do this, good girl, Sunny, if your dog is a problem, you're gonna see it. Because what I mean by that is you'll be walking, and if they're like lasers and targeting, like their eyes are like lasers targeting these goats the whole time, that'd be a huge cause for concern. You're gonna see that while you heel. And I would challenge you to practice both your turns. And the left turn and right turn, Sunny, heel. I want to be able to get up here and Sunny, heel. Slow my dog down, go back the way I came from. Notice that was a little bit sloppy. Sunny, heel. And then I want to make an outside turn. So I want to be able to be over here and say, Sunny, heel, and pat my leg and have her come with me, free. So as you work on this, once again, take time. I'm letting her be free because I trust this dog with the goats already. If you're just starting this, I wouldn't let her be free at this point. I would heel, heel, heel until you love the behavior and then move on to the next step. The next step is to put your dogs in a downstay right alongside the fence and allow the goats to do their thing. There's a few reasons we do this. Now, one is it makes it easier for the goats when the dogs are stationary, and actually when they're low like this, the little animals are going to be braver. They're more likely to come up and smell them through the fence. But we also do this because of the dogs and because of dog psychology. If you have a dog who's kind of wanting to go into like attack mode, you could call it guarding mode, you could call it prey drive. People use all these different phrases for it. But if you have a dog who's thinking about going after this animal, they are not going to want to be laying down. They're either going to want to be stalking or they're going to be up and wanting to control the other animal. When you have them lay down like this is a much more submissive position. What you'll see is if you have an animal a dog who really wants to go after him, the downstay is probably going to be really hard for them. They're going to want to be up the whole time. They're going to want to be over the other animal. So I do this until it's easy. Right now the dogs are, holding down stays. They're great. The goats are walking around. Once again, work on this for as long as you need to. You want to make sure you get some good experiences where the goats come up and the dogs smell them through the fence. So take your time at it, and it's not always going to happen the first session. You could put the dogs in a downstay and the goats could just completely ignore them. That's good for the dogs, of course, to hold this position, but I do want to get the goats a little bit braver because the last thing I want to do is move on to the final step of letting them be together and have the goats never have smelled them and then have the goats take off running. That could be a big problem. The next step is to have the dogs free on the outside of the fence. Obviously, this is harder than them being in the downstay because now the dogs can do whatever they want. So I'll let the dog be free. I'm looking for the same thing. If you had a pen and the dog was circling the pen, that'd be a big cause for concern. Circling behavior is not play behavior. That's probably the dog thinking about going into attack mode. So I certainly wouldn't allow that. If they're pacing and fixating, I would stop that. If I see play bows, of course I would love that. If I see happy engagement, but I don't want the dog to look like, I don't want them to be staring at them the same way they would their ball or something they want to go after. So if you recognize and notice that behavior in your dog, you need to break it. You can break it verbally, you can break it with a leash, whatever you need. Hey, come here. Come here, girl. This is also, hey sweetie, an appropriate time, no, to let them start smelling the goats a little bit. So when you let them smell the goats, oh yeah, hey, good girl. So you can do this in a few ways. You can tell the dog to stay, dash stay, and then you could get down a little bit. Now, the reason I put him in a stay is not because I didn't trust him and thought he was gonna like attack the goat, but if he jumps up, I would assume that'd be pretty scary for this little goat, and I don't wanna put her through that. You good girl. Free, you're free. Good. So all I'm looking for there is, does the goat seem panicked? How excited is the dog? Sunny, sit. Good girl, stay. So what she's doing there is very normal. I'm sure she was smelling the goat's rear end or licking it, just like she would with another dog. I just take do little sessions at first like that because I want to make sure it's easy on the goat and I don't want to stress her out too much. Right, Daisy girl? And the final step is to have the goat on the ground around the dog. Good boy, buddy. Sunny, free. You're free. Sunny, So the reason I made that noise is she was being a little bit pushy for me. Sunny, now I wasn't afraid of her attacking. Dash, leave it. But I can see the goat is walking off. He's saying he, obviously doesn't want to be smelled right now. He's a little uncomfortable. Sunny, leave it. Hey, buddy. So as you do this, Sunny, you're not just worried about your animals hurting the goat. You also have to worry about how he's feeling through this process. And if he makes it clear over and over and over again that he wants to leave, that's okay. You're a good girl, Sunny. And so what I'm looking for is I want them to become buddies and I want everyone to be happy with this relationship. So I'm not gonna let the dogs chase the goat, obviously. I'm not gonna let them be way too pushy. A little bit of smelling is fine. Hey, bud. Oh, Sunny, wait. Hey, buddy. Sunny, leave it. Sunny, leave it. Now, the reason I did that is I wanted you to see the most likely times a dog will attack an animal like this is when you're setting them down. So if you put them down right in front of them, that's a likely time the dog might jump on it, or right when you're picking them up, especially if the animal's excited. So I want you in the habit of when you go to put the animal down, hey, back the dog up. And same with when you pick him up. If she were to come in, I want you to back her up and just be in that habit that when the dog sees you handling another animal, that they're not messing with you. And of course, other likely times a dog might attack, Sunny, you're free, would be if the goat starts running, showing a lot of fear. If he were to start making a lot of noise and buying like crazy, that could set the dog off. So just watch for all of that stuff. I'm gonna set him down again and I want her to wait and I'll let her be free. And this is the process, Sunny, easy. This is the process. There's no big rush. So right now the dog is ready to play. So she says, hey, let's do this thing, let's wrestle. She wants to have fun with this goat. The goat's not ready for that yet. Hey, and that's okay. It might take a few weeks before the goat's old enough that he wants to engage more with the dog, and that's absolutely fine. Sunny, leave it. Oh, my little buddy. If you have questions, let me know. I'll make some follow-up videos as they start playing with each other more so you can see what it's like as they're having fun. But this is the process. It's not that difficult. It just takes some time. Let me know if you have questions.